You face real questions from real people experiencing real problems. There's no PR buffer. There's real accountability. This pattern of being available to corporate media but unavailable for community dialogue sends a clear message about whose voices matter and whose don't. It's the kind of disrespect that hides behind busy schedules and prior commitments, but the community sees right through it. If these issues are important enough to discuss with the LA Times, they're important enough to discuss directly with the people living them. Anything less isn't just disrespectful, it's a fundamental failure of leadership and accountability. Mr. Pizarro says in the LA Times interview, I need to go to the supermarket in Pasadena or Altadena and be able to look people in the eye. We want to do the right thing for our community. You had a chance to look folk in the eye at our town hall meeting last week, but you didn't show up. And then we invited you for a one-on-one conversation here at the station, but you have yet to confirm. So please, please stop with the gaslighting. With the KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
First things first.
First things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule. 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DePrima go way back. Tavis Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DePrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DePrima. The show is called First Things First, and my first thing today and every day is giving thanks to God, all praises to God, asking for blessings from the Most High, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders, and let's go. Full steam ahead. We got a lot to talk about as always, maybe even more than usual, but I feel like I say that every single day. With a spotlight on a Black-owned, BIPOC-owned, small, socially innovative business, any of those categories, women-owned, even hyper-local businesses, because we're trying to keep jobs in the communities as opposed to letting everything go to the Bezos plantation. So we focus on Black-owned, BIPOC-owned, woman-owned. And if you are interested in being featured on a Wealth Building Wednesday, you can hit me up on Instagram in the DMs. That's the best way to do it. We've had several Wealth Building Wednesday spotlight folks come from Instagram, or you can always email me, depremaradio@gmail.com, depremaradio@gmail.com. But Twitter and Instagram are reliable DM situations for me. Or you could reach out to KBLA 1580. We're on every single platform, KBLA 1580. And we do accept your DMs. We also love when you like, follow, subscribe, and comment. Just like right now, we're streaming on YouTube at KBLA 1580. In hour 3 today, well, I shouldn't skip over the second half of hour 2 because we'll be talking with Sharon Jenkins, the mama of Erskine Jenkins, on his close to his 1-year angelversary, and see how we can help her get some justice for her son, a student, a university student, young man who was murdered by sheriffs in Lubbock, Texas. Hour 3, we're going to talk with Judge Songhai Armstead, and we'll focus on what the Justice Care and Opportunities Department is doing, what this idea of care first means, and how we can be part of it. I talk about it all the time. We have a spot that runs, a PSA that runs on this radio station about the JCOD hotline, and yet I feel like it doesn't really sink in for a lot of people. So if you are incarcerated, have been incarcerated, have a loved one who's justice involved, as they say, meaning in any of the carceral systems, right? Probation, parole, foster care, even juvenile system. There are a bunch of resources for people coming out, transitioning into careers, trying to figure out how to, reincorporate themselves and their lives into the community. This is something I always hear from people about this. Oh, I need a job, but I have a felony, or my loved one is having trouble staying on track now that they're back home from a long bid or whatever. There are tons of resources because we, the voters, moved money for that. And so I just want to make sure we know about that and that we stay committed to the principles of Measure J and stay committed to making the LA County Board of Supervisors save Measure J from the incompetence of certain people in the county that made them pass Measure G without protecting Measure J. Still working on that. I know there's a whole board, a task force working on how to do it. I don't know why they don't just do it. Just, pass. Man, Miles gets here to start my show before I get here, first thing in the morning, every single day, and he's on this board dealing with all of us various air personalities until what, 2?
Crazy.
Yeah, all the crazy.
All the crazy.
12 kinds of crazy. Me, Tavis.
Other side of you and other side of Tavis.
Our
Behind
alter
those
egos.
other scene side, you,
Right,
Tavis.
our evil twins.
Yeah.
And then Jesse Jackson Jr.,
All right.
Doc, Dr. West, he's on a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just, yeah.
The weekend shows, you know what I mean? Yeah, y'all crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that just goes to your zen. You're very unflappable type of fellow.
I think I'm kind of crazy, too. I think we kind of all rub off on one another. I think that's what it is.
You definitely have your crazy side for sure. But when everything is going haywire, you tend to be like, okay.
Just juggle. That's it.
Let's fix it. Quit tripping. Let's fix it. Yeah.
Got to balance the like a circus act.
If you want to see Miles's crazy side, you should go see him perform.
Yeah, pull up to a show, please.
That's where it's like, wait, who's that character? That's the artist lurking inside. Yeah.
You feel today, Dominique?
I'm good. I am looking forward to the Justice Care and Opportunities Department, LA County. They're having a conference today. It's called Together We Thrive, and I'm hosting 2 different panels. I went to it last year. It's sold out, but they said if you show up and you say you're with KBLA, they'll find a way to get you in there. It's in Inglewood. I'll have the address. It's all on my socials at the Prima Radio. But it's, it's interesting because it's a lot of formerly incarcerated persons or justice impacted, system involved persons that come. There's resources like booths. There's panel discussions, and then there's performances. So it's like a resource fair, a conference, and a concert all rolled into one.
Gonna be all day thing?
It's all day. Yeah, it goes from actually 8 a.m. So I'll be going there the minute I get off the air until like 6:30 or 7. YG's going to be there. I get to interview some of the women, incarcerated women who were firefighters during, Eaton Canyon and the Palisades fire. and talk to them about now how these particular women, some of them were incarcerated during the fires, and they're now out, and they're in a program to help them be able to work as firefighters outside, which is something that was one of the big missing links there. And it still is for a lot of people, that they work jobs in prison and then they cannot use that experience on the outside because of the rules. And so it's like they've done all this work for $10 a day or $1 an hour, and they end up with no experience that's usable when they get out. Now, JCOT is changing that. The LA County Board of Supervisors is changing that. So I get to talk to these women who are in a special fire camp, which is like experience that they had actually fighting fires can count.
Okay, so there's something that you can go to if you're not just as impacted. Is it something like
Anybody can go. Yeah, and a lot of people that aren't justice impacted were there. I mean, there's lawmakers there. There are supervisors for one, because I mean they're the ones that underwrite the whole thing. Judge Armstead is always there. Well, this is their second annual, so I say always, but she was there last year. And it's her event, so I'm sure she'll be there. And just lots of interesting businesses, opportunities. I mean, I think it's a good thing to do right now because folks are feeling discouraged and overwhelmed. A lot of people I talk to. So for me, it's smart to check in and see what great things are happening around you. Opportunities, people, networking. Yeah.
I'll say that definitely. It sounds like something that people should be there networking for. I really, we should get some content for that, Dominique. So we can collect for future shows.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. I need to bring my microphone, my light. I always have my phone, but I'm also going to be sitting down with Harry O.
Okay.
And that should be quite interesting. So it's a panel, but it's a one-on-one conversation between him and me. Last year, I talked to Hit Boy.
Right.
This year, I'm talking to Harry O., who is the founder of Godfather Entertainment, which became Death Row Records. And he's somebody who was pardoned granted clemency by the president and campaigned for the president, but is going hard in the pain for the community. So that should be quite an interesting conversation.
That's going to be live. Are you allowed to say the times of your?
Yeah, I think my first one is 9:15. I think that's or 9:30. I think it's 9:30. I'm going to be shot out of a rocket coming off the show. You're going to see me. Whoo! And then the next one I think is 10:45. Mine are early, first thing. But there's great panels all day, and there's a couple different rooms. I'll tell you about it when we come forward. 800-920-1580 if you want to talk to me, talk to yourself, talk to your community. We do all that around here. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-729-7070. That's 1-800-729-7070. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-729-7070.
Most intriguing relationship radio roundtable every night I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Right now. I love it. I love when my community keeps me on point, sends me information. So like I said, you can always hit me up. You can always hit me up on socials. I love that. DM me, make a comment, say a thing, do a thing. All of that is appreciated at this point. So yeah, the other thing that's happening at the Together We Thrive, which is today, is expungement. So if you got a record that you want to cleanse, they have people from the public defender's office, and they will fast track it right there. You bring whatever paperwork you have. If you have nothing, bring nothing. But if you have like your rap sheet or whatever, you bring that, and they will actually, I've seen it on the spot. Actually, I've seen a couple of well-known individuals who I will not name get their records expunged last year at the at this very same event. It's togetherwethrive.com. You can RSVP there, but I think they're just going to tell you it's sold out. So you probably just have to go to it and do what we were advised to do by Judge Armstead, which is go there and say that you're with KBLA, and that's the way to do it, because they said they will find some. So I'm looking forward to that. I know I can't get too political because it's a county event that's meant to help people, but I'm so tempted to ask Harry O about, how he thinks things are going. Since he supported this administration, he supported us to vote for Trump. And a lot of the people that I know that did that, who were justice involved, they are still feeling like things are going pretty well. So I wonder if he is feeling that way. I particularly think that it's because they're not tracking some of the stuff that he's doing. It's more of the high level stuff like, the pardons, the high profile stuff. Maybe he's going to pardon Diddy, or, what he did for Lil Wayne or Harry O, but more than the policies. But I don't know. I feel like all this stuff becomes more and more obvious as time goes by. DA Nathan Hochman will be on a panel there, as will the sheriff. But that makes sense because this is justice, care, and opportunities. So they work with all sides of the law.
And put you on them panels.
They didn't put me on that panel.
Okay.
No, they did not. And you know what? I am not surprised. I'm not surprised that I am not on that panel, nor am I sad. But I'm sure it'll be a good panel because last year they had one with the DA. Last year it was Gascon, DA Gascon, that was on a panel, and it was powerful. It was really good. So I'm sure that, look, people get to ask questions. They get to meet these folks, and and it's not like people are being, everyone's walking around, so people are accessible. YG will be there. I don't know what time his panel is, but he will be there. And this is at what's the name of the studio? It's
the We Play Studio.
We Play Studio. That's right. It's the We Play Studio, which is in Inglewood. So if you're in LA, it's accessible. Now, next hour is pretty busy, so I might have to break my own rules and talk a little bit here about the national landscape. Yesterday was a crazy day. I mean, just a crazy day, right? What happened? The House of Representatives passed the bill to release the Epstein files after really what happened is that the momentum was there for the bill to pass. So the president at the last minute says, oh, yeah, go ahead and pass it. Because that way he can say, I told them to pass it. I totally still have power. I totally am not an irrelevant, crazy, lame ducko. But also, I mean, I don't think it's fair to say he's totally a lame duck because he does wield some kind of otherworldly power over these Republicans most of the time. And we know that he's probably planning to try to stay and he hadn't given his sign off, it would have looked bad. And it would have looked really bad because it was overwhelmingly voted in. Only one lawmaker voted no. And, Representative Clay Higgins, who is a big Trump supporter, by the way. So, not surprising there. Innocent people will be hurt by releasing the file. No, they won't. You know how much they redact those files? They hide everything, to cover up names, and we'll see what this even means. But the surprise, the thing that made it seem very fishy to me is when the Senate turn around and pass it right away, right? They could have dragged their feet. It could have been weeks, months, or even, more normally days. Mike Johnson, the House Speaker, said that the Senate was going to amend the bill to fix the so-called problems within it of whatever phantom problems they said were there. But that did not happen. The Senate just said rubber stamp and onto your desk. So the bill is effectively on the president's desk right now. In fact, I have to look every 2 minutes to see if he signed it yet. And to me, that is fishy because drag your feet, 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 obstruct, obstruct, obstruct. And you notice this move comes right after Trump debuted a new talking point. The new talking point is it's all Democrats in there. There's no Republicans. It's all Democrats. It's Larry Summers. It's Bill Clinton. It's all Democrats. All of Epstein's friends were Democrats. It went from hoax to it's all Democrats. So what that tells me is that they're going to cross out the names of all the Republicans in the document. They're going to redact them. And actually, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, Mark Epstein, said the same thing on yesterday to People magazine. So it's not just me. He said he has it from a very well-placed source that Republicans have figured out a plan how to take all of the Republicans out of the report. So the files, which, I also heard on MSNBC, have not independently verified it. I guess it's MS now, but whatever, that that they've been working on taking the Republicans out of this since the summer. So it's a long-term project. And it makes sense. He pivots to a new talking point, and now, voila, it passes in hours. Perfect time to call me, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DePrima. We've got news, traffic, and sports, then more on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Chicago aldermen have rejected Black Mayor Brandon Johnson's $600 million tax plan, including his corporate head tax.
The message is so strong, so clear, and pretty transparent from the taxpayers. They want us to go back and find those efficiencies, find the cuts, and not continue to stick them with new taxes.
Johnson warned the alternative could be property tax hikes, garbage fees, or a grocery tax. Reverend Jesse Little in Chicago, the 84-year-old civil rights leader diagnosed with a rare neurological disorder called PSP, remains stable and will continue receiving care there. And Cynthia Erivo will open this year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The Wicked Star joins Busta Rhymes, Sierra, Kool and the Gang, Lil Jon, and more. Watch on NBC Thanksgiving Day at 8:30 a.m. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
It's the Black Friday of all Black Fridays now at Big O Tires. Buy 3, get 1 free on select tires with paid installation. Or get 50% off a full synthetic oil change and 20% off any repair service. It's Black Friday now through December 7th at your local Big O Tires.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
LeBron James made NBA history last night and showed people he can still play some ball. In his first game since April 30th last season, in the first round of the NBA playoffs, LeBron made his season debut in a festive 140-126 win for the Lakers over the Utah Jazz. LeBron had 11 points, 12 assists, and 3 rebounds in 30 minutes. He became the first player in NBA history to play 23 seasons, moving past Vince Carter, who played 22. It was the 7th time in LeBron's career that he finished a game with more assists than points. LeBron, who turns 41 on December 30th, took only 7 shots last night, but made 2 of 3 three-pointers. Not a bad performance after being sidelined since training camp with a sciatic nerve condition in his lower back and right leg. LeBron will have more time to work on his conditioning. The Lakers don't play again until Sunday at Utah. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. S&P volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an S&P open house near you. We are on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. You make a difference. Visit casmpvolunteer.org. Head to the Skirball Cultural Center for a thought-provoking contemporary art exhibition, Draw Them In, Paint Them Out. Trenton Doyle Hancock confronts Philip Guston. Explore resonant connections between the work of American Jewish painter Philip Guston and the work of Trenton Doyle Hancock, a leading Black American contemporary artist, in dialogue for the first time. While engaging with the artwork, consider the role that artists play in the pursuit of social justice. Plan your visit at skirball.org.
Hey, KBLA 1580 delegation, your health matters to us. We know that information is power, especially when it comes to prevention and treatment. That's why we're proud to introduce the brand new KBLA Health and Wellness Hub. This online space is built just for you, connecting our community to trusted health resources, culturally relevant care, and even access to diverse clinical trials and emerging therapies. Whether you're looking for information on common conditions, mental health support, or just want to stay on top of your wellness journey, we got you. And the best part, it's all on our website at kbla1580.com. Accessible, empowering, community-focused. So just go to kbla1580.com and click on the Health and Wellness Hub icon, because knowledge is power and your health is everything.
theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Guys, don't propose with a ring that she didn't pick out. Trust us, she already has a ring in mind. So engage with Gage Diamonds, in person or online, where Gage's skilled ring designers will work with her to create the perfect setting, matched with the perfect stone. Gage specializes in exquisite lab-grown diamonds. Financing available. GageDiamonds.com. We're engagement's middle name.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
I do really appreciate you guys waking up with me. It's not just a little slogan-y thing. I mean, the fact that it's really early and we gather here, we gather on YouTube in the morning, and a lot of you guys roll with us all day. Some of you, just here for whatever hour is convenient for you, on the way to work, on the way from work, on the way to bed, whatever it is. But I appreciate you. I know it's early, and it means a lot. I think it's really important for all of us to have fellowship, whether it's on the radio, which is a step closer to real life than social media because we can talk in real time. You can call me at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. But I do appreciate you. And Miles made a good point while we were off the mic, which is that the event today is free. It's free. Free. It ends at 6. I think I said 6:30 or 7, but it actually ends at 6. So that's another great thing. It's free. But you definitely want to drop the KBLA name because they are sold out. And the judge told me they would make a few spots for you. And I would come early, too, because if you're trying to wait and see if you could see who's performing at 5, they're probably not going to let you in. By then, it's going to be too crowded. Doors open at 8. So anyway, that's my advice, and I will hopefully see you there. Yeah, Paul says redacted non-victims will create a backlash. But how will we know who they are? You know what I'm saying? Backlash where? Like, we don't have access to the information. We don't even know what papers they're not releasing. I mean, somebody does, but we don't. I don't know. The victims probably know a lot, and that's what I was thinking, is that when Pam Bondi starts saying, oh, well, there's an ongoing investigation, so we can't release this part or that part. The ongoing investigation requires us to not release anything with Melania Trump or Donald Trump's name on it. Then, I don't know. How do you know what they're keep holding back? The zombie Justice Department knows but won't say. It's never the role of the Justice Department. The Justice Department is supposed to be the people's lawyers, not the king's personal strike force, not the MAGA Avengers. That's what they're doing right now. And that's a lot of people. There's a whole bunch of people in those files. And just like the victims have been saying all over television and in their press conferences, which, by the way, I think another reason why Republicans finally did what they should have done months ago, because this has dragged on and it's made them look terrible and passed this bill. Because the victims being out there, speaking out, even though they were really careful to be nonpartisan, and most of them did not name names, the fact remains they're speaking out, and it makes the Republicans look like they're protecting sexual predators, because they are. And when even People magazine is reporting on stuff that makes you look bad, it's time, to take some action. So that's why I was saying, The talking point has changed. The main Trump talking point, when he's not yelling at reporters and calling them piggy, is it's all Democrats in there. Now, we know that's BS. Oh, all of his friends were Democrats. You were his best friend for a long time. And there were the emails, the 20,000 emails that have already come out from the Epstein estate. And this is confusing, so follow the bouncing ball. There was a group of emails that came out that were released by the Democrats, a smaller group. Then there was the 20,000 that everybody's talking about right now. Those were from the estate, which is controlled by Jeffrey Epstein's brother, Mark Epstein. He is the one that released the 20,000 with the thing about, the president supposedly having relations with someone named Bubba and all kinds of other damning stuff, including the fact that the president remained in touch with Epstein, even though he said they had a very bad relationship. And, of course, everyone is speculating about what could be in there about Melania. Why is she in every single photo with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell? Was she part of the Epstein stable? Was she, if so, does that mean she was with him before she was with Trump? Was she trafficked? Did they have something to do with her getting that so-called Einstein visa, which people are now calling an Epstein visa? I mean, we don't know what's in there, but what I think, aside from the president himself, which I think there's a lot more there, because what's been released now is already pretty bad. I mean, in normal times with a regular president who wasn't the Teflon Don, what we've already seen would be enough to DQ you. You'd be out of there. I don't know. Remember when a presidential hopeful could make a weird sound and be disqualified? And the presidential candidate, Gary Hart, who was seen on a yacht with a girl, you're out of here. 86th. Peace out, homie. No, Trump, he can sleep with a porn star. He can have a Playboy bunny that he pays off, that he had an affair with. He can rip people off with the Trump University, take people's money saying he's going to teach them how to be rich and never do it, and settle out of court. He gets away with stuff no one gets away with. So whatever's in there's got to be pretty doggone bad for him to be that worried about it. This is the man who told us he could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and kill someone, and his followers would still support him. So imagine what has got to be in there for him to be that stressed out about it, that he loses his regular, I lie about everything like brushing my teeth cool. Oh, it's all bad. And flipping and flopping. Jerry Anderson says Melania is the evidence. That could very well be. I mean, there's so much there, And now when you add the international layer, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but I don't want to be a coincidence theorist either. The Saudi prince who was visiting in town, humiliating the president on yesterday, was also a pal of Epstein. It's like a corny movie. Like, you can't make this stuff up. You really can't. What did they know and when did they know it is not even enough of a question. The other question has to be, who has compromising information on the president? Do they still have it? How much is it impacting our country, if it is? Who is whose handler? Who is whose handler? Who reported back to Epstein? Why is Epstein saying in the 20,000 emails that he has all he needs to take Trump down? He knows Trump is the Teflon Don too. He knows not just anything would take him down. So what could it be? And by the way, I'm sure it's not just Trump. You know, maybe it's Clinton, maybe it's not. Larry Summers stepped down from the OpenAI board, I think yesterday, because of those emails. He's implicated.
Who did?
Larry Summers. Okay. Yeah. Big mucky muck. He's a Democrat. He used to be a member of both the Clinton and the Obama administration. But he is an economist. He was the Secretary of the Treasury. And he stepped down. Why? Because of the Epstein files that have already been released. This fishy as hell is the stuff that the Department of Justice has. It's not the stuff the estate has, and it's not the stuff that the committee, the Democratic committee, has that already released. This is a different bunch of papers, files, and it's vast. It's a lot of stuff. And that's the stuff that Pam Bondi was talking about, the Attorney General, when she first said, oh, the file's on my desk. And then she said, oh, there is no file. There is no list. Oh, the list is on my desk. Oh, there is no list. It's that file that has the list or de facto list or basically the who's who of Washington pedophiles. Washington and New York, by the way. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. Crazy times. It's but we're starting to see the blueprint for how the whole MAGA ship goes down, are we not? Certainly that's got to be encouraging in some way. 800-920-1580, that's the number if you want to say a thing about a thing. I'm Dominique DePrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
It's never too early to start talking about money in realistic ways with your kids. JP Morgan Chase navigates how to educate your kids now about creating long-lasting, healthy money habits. Whether your kids are in elementary school, high school, or college, now is a great time to start a conversation about ways to create healthy money habits as they grow, ultimately benefiting their financial future. Talking about money in a realistic way to support your kids' lifestyle and dreams, your first banking account geared towards high school or college. It's never too early. Explaining the basics, what you earn and what you spend, building financial confidence starts with getting organized. Learning and practicing vital money skills now will stay with them for life. Tools they will have to stay on top of their finances and achieve their goals. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through Called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
Nearly 7 million Americans aged 65 and older are living with Alzheimer's disease, or AD. But did you know that Black adults aged 65 and older are twice as likely as white adults to develop AD? You may be able to reduce your risk by managing conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure, being physically active, eating healthy, and exercising your mind. To learn more about AD, the importance of early diagnosis and intervention, and a potential treatment option, visit treatalzearly.com. That's treatalzearly.com. This message is brought to you by AZI.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate meets a scholarly match.
Yeah, so paying attention also means not only focusing on what is being talked about in the mainstream media, because there so much stuff is all the air is being sucked out of the room right now by the president and his troubles. And they are troubles. I mean, the fight with Marjorie Taylor Greene is a problem. The fight with Lauren Boebert is a problem. The fact that these folks are not getting along with each other, the fact that the MAGA base is becoming disillusioned by Trump's, I don't even know the right word, acquiescence, total fealty, groveling to Israel is a problem because they think that he has abandoned America first. The fact that they promised to release the Epstein files and they appear to be protecting pedophiles, including Andrew Tate and his brother. These are becoming real serious problems for this administration with their hardcore voters. I hope these folks will start to reevaluate and look at what would make their lives better, which means policies that don't favor the rich. I hope that they will start to look at class and not just race and realize, you don't have to be a white supremacist. We don't have to be your enemies. You can come over to where the snacks are. You can come over to where the party's at. You can come over to where the humanitarianism is, where the love of your fellow mankind is. Come over here. You don't have to be a neo-Nazi, a white supremacist. If these folks, that's a stretch. I know. I'm not expecting Marjorie Taylor Greene, to sign up to be part of Amnesty International. Not expecting that. But the fact that those cracks are showing means that maybe some of these regular people will rethink what is in their best interest, what is in America's best interest, and what is in the actual best interest of the whole world. Anyway, yeah, so I was talking about the things that are not necessarily on CNN and MS Now night and day. And one of those is the fact that the U.S. Appeals Court did uphold the we're in a federal appeals court. That was Friday. Those are the guys, yeah, I'm sure you must remember. I remember this one clearly because I like to jog and run. And you run through all kinds of neighborhoods. You just do it because that's where you feel like going. They chased him in their pickup truck. This was in Georgia. And they killed him with a shotgun. Well, the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals took a whole year to make that ruling. And they denied the appeal. They said each of the defendants held long-standing prejudice and that prosecutors proved that. That is not easy to prove. That means the evidence was sufficient for a reasonable juror to find that Arbery's case was the determinative, his race was the determinative factor for the neighborhood chase, meaning the real reason they were chasing him was because he was a black man, which all of us know. But in this era of we hate DEI, in this era of get rid of everything that helps black people, it feels like a refreshing opinion from that judge. And now they will serve their time. The defense actually argued that the racist messages that they had sent, social media posts and text messages, didn't prove anything. Didn't prove they were racist against Arbery. It was just their opinion at the moment. That sounds like some MAGA doublespeak. And I'm glad the judge was bold enough in this day and age, this climate, to say, no, I don't think so. It's also a warning to you when you're in your feels, if you're a white supremacist or just somebody that likes to talk a lot of smack, a keyboard warrior, that stuff is evidence in a court of law. Yeah. Both of the McMichaels are serving life because of the hate crime enhancement. And Travis, the son, got 10 years on top of life. Father got 7 years on top for brandishing guns while committing violent crimes. Their neighbor got 35 years. And again, they might have gotten out a little earlier had they not had the hate crime enhancement. The hate crime enhancement was proven using their social media posts. Hello? I don't know if that is something that the rest of us need to worry about if we're not white supremacists, but sometimes people rage tweet and say stuff that sounds funny. How many celebs have we seen apologizing for something they tweeted 10 years ago? But the full circle sort of weird intertwining moments of the president defending Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the prince, Oval Office meeting, luncheon in the White House, all the stops pulled out for this guy. And remember, this is the same guy that the U.S. sort of meekly condemned for killing a Washington Post reporter, or ordering. He didn't personally do it. He's a prince. He's got henchmen. But the guy has been completely I guess you would say, legitimized by this White House visit. They're obviously very wealthy. They've promised to invest hundreds of millions of dollars in the United States. And it's interesting because while Trump is so beholden to Israel and writes check after check after check of our money to pay for their weapons while they have free college for all and universal health care, free health care for all their citizens, we're writing check after check after check for their weaponry. At the same time, he's getting ready to sell these F-35 fighter jets to Saudi Arabia, which used to be a thing you're not allowed to do. The only country in the Middle East that's supposed to have the F-35 fighters, according to U.S. policy, has been Israel. So now, because of his everlasting lust for money, the president is actually willing to put Saudi Arabia militarily on a close to equal footing, if not a greater footing, than Israel, because they have deep pockets. And that's really interesting. I wonder how that plays in Israel. It certainly makes the world seem more perilous. Surprise, surprise, Trump's approval rating is at a new low. I don't see how it goes any higher, given that no matter how many times he lies and says the economy is better and inflation is down, it's not. Given that he seems to be worried about the well-being of Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Argentina way more than the American worker or even the American business man, woman. It's going to be an interesting time, but I'm betting I'm betting that the president signs that bill today, because clearly something is afoot. Something is fishy, and they have a plan for how to exploit the Epstein files in a way that will target Dems and protect the pedophiles in the Republican Party. It's time for Wealth Building Wednesday. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Chicago aldermen have rejected Black Mayor Brandon Johnson's $600 million tax plan, including his corporate head tax.
The message is so strong, so clear, and pretty transparent from the taxpayers. They want us to go back and find those efficiencies, find the cuts, and not continue to stick them with new taxes.
Johnson warned the alternative could be property tax hikes, garbage fees, or a grocery tax.